All right, now we have to give our names because Sharon Farrell told us to.
This is a different show then.
Yeah.
This is a new show we're
each
doing
one,
now.
You guys, did they do 2 or 3 shows?
3 shows.
You did 3 shows.
Oh, did not know that.
They're 30-minute shows, each
It
one.
flowed like one.
So we'll start with Starbuck. Give us your name.
Robert Standley,
Okay.
and I am playing Starbuck,
Well, Robert Stanley, the actor, right now.
the actor.
And we
Sharon
got-
Farrell.
Okay.
I'm an actress.
And a writer.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, I am. It's just
And,
I'm Stephen Howard. I'm an actor and a writer.
oh, you're right, too. Because there's Sharon's book there. If you want to hold your book, Sharon.
it's so funny because I don't really, it's like when you're sitting there and just like writing about your life. It's like, it's not like you're writing, it's like you're more or less, just
Letting go.
It's like a diary, you're just like letting out all this crap,
Sure.
And I started writing because I was I got so angry about stuff, I don't know. What did you start writing?
That's the best.
That's why you started writing, because you were angry?
I was pissed off. I ended up in a mental institution, and it was like I wasn't supposed to be there. And
That would piss you off.
the way they treated me and everything, and how they kept me in there was just, ugh. That's a whole, that's a story,
I'd be pissed off too. It
But,
sounds,
I got pissed off. I got really, really angry because I had an accident and I fell down and some girlfriend said that I was trying to commit suicide, and all of a sudden there was an ambulance and police. There were 17 men in my place, and they I had broken my knee. And I had to go have my meniscus repaired and all this kind of stuff. And they took me to West Hills and they gave me Dilaudid, which I was allergic to. It's like a man-made morphine, and it can make you nuts. I mean, you
Strong stuff.
hallucinate,
Very
you
strong.
like go crazy. And they thought I was nuts, and they put me in a straitjacket, and they hauled me off to another mental place on Ventura Boulevard, Encino Hospital. And they've got a mental ward in the back that you don't even see there.
how did you get out of that
Oh,
situation?
I faked it. I totally faked it. I
You
didn't know how to
faked
do
sanity?
it. No, I went along with what they were doing because they decided I was bipolar, and I was there because I had tried to commit suicide, and the more I fought with them, the worse it got. So you just have to kind of go with the flow. And my son finally found out where I was, and he said, "Mom, you got to get out of there. Put the pill in your mouth, fake it, and spit it out. Don't take those things because they give you stuff. They give you this medication that they're, these
Like
pharmaceuticals.
Thorazine and stuff
Thorazine.
like that.
They give you this stuff that makes you. I mean, I had one that I'd try to reach for something, and it'd be like.
That's what it does.
It made you not. Your body. It affected everything.
Right.
Your eyes got yellow, and
That was
the
the
whites of your eyes
Thorazine.
got
So it's
yellow.
almost like a setup.
They used you as a guinea pig for all this medicine and
But
stuff
let me
they're
ask you
like
this.
doing.
Now, who sanctioned it, and how did your son find out? Who told him that? How did he find out?
I think there was the girl that like got me in there, called him finally and told him where I was because she knew. Because I said something stupid. I said, I fell and I said the wrong things. I wanted somebody to come over and help me, and I said, well, if you're not going to come over and help me, I'm just going to kill myself, because if this is the way you're going to treat me, I just don't want to be part of this thing. And it was a sponsor from AA, and I was going to AA meetings just for the coffee and food because I had gotten back from Fiji Islands, and I was just stranded, and I had no money, and I went to the actors, I went to the motion picture home, and they turned me, I was going in circles, so I was just angry. I was angry at the Motion Picture Hospital, I was angry at Screen Actors Guild, I was angry at, how I got into the mental institution, I was just pissed off at the whole world.
But
That's
now,
how
the
I
good
started.
thing is that,
Now I'm not.
no, I mean, the good thing of that is, it was terrible and this and that, but one thing that as an actor, all that pain, all that misery is a gift to the actor.
We know what it feels like
Hey,
to
have-
be in a straitjacket, don't
Well,
you?
all that,
I've done
it's a
those
gift.
kind of movies. I did The Fifth Floor, and I was in a straitjacket, and I thought it was just all overwritten, and I thought it was corny and everything else. Well, it's not. Those things really go on, They go right on in Ventura Boulevard and Encino
Now,
Hospital
did
in
you
the
do that
back.
before that happened? You did that project before the asylum happened?
Oh yeah,
See,
years and years.
That's what you're talking about. It only feeds you, and that's stuff that money can't buy because you've lived it. It's in your fibers. You get on this camera, it just oozes out. You don't even have to fake it. You don't even have
It's
to
in the
do
emotional memory bank.
anything. Absolutely.
It's
So
Martin Landau
that's a
always
bright
talks
side
about
of it.
that.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
that's a
yes,
good
and
one.
it's such a wonderful thing being an actor because anything you go through, you can say, I'm going to use this.
Sure.
I'm going to use this. And it kind of like puts you out a little bit. It makes you an observer rather than in all that pain. You just see a person in pain. You're able to be you're like the watcher, you know?
Right.
So it's being an actor, isn't it fantastic?
It has its ups and downs. But yeah, the ups are grand. They're glorious. It's when you really
Yeah.
transcend, when you have those moments where you lose all sense of time and space, and the watcher doesn't know why, but they're losing all sense of time and space with you. I think that's communication complete. That's the upside, yes.
Yeah.
The downside is
Work.
yes,
Being
work goes up, work
unemployed,
goes down,
being unemployed and not having a job. I think
Yeah.
that's the worst part.
and trying to maintain a normal life. I mean, bless you, buddy, with your family,
Yeah, you
your
went and-
grandkids,
you
and everything,
went
and
and did all
maintaining it
that?
all. You know, it wreaked havoc on my marriage, the business.
Well, I'm not married to that lady anymore.
No, but you're married now.
I am married now. Yes, that's true.
Why did you write your book?
Well, I've written plays and screenplays and short stories.
You're a writer.
Well, oh yeah, I've
You're a
written.
writer.
I just find, it's interesting that you were driven to this out of anger. Where for me, it's such a great pleasure to write. There's some weird thing that happens when the words start flowing through you, and I mean, inevitably you can't use them all. But when they're flowing, it just feels like this magical thing, and it's such a joy.
That's like
and
you're
a
not
pleasure.
even doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
and I
like,
think
I was
I
like
think
Jude
there's
and I
truth
like
in that.
lost myself in it.
Yeah, and
You
it
know,
happens
you
that
sit
way.
down, and all of a sudden you sit down at 6 in the morning, and all of a sudden it's 2:30.
Right, the
You're
time
because
goes
you're
by.
hungry. You're like getting a little weak. It's like weird. It is.
You're being
I
played.
think everybody's got a book in them. Everybody does.
I agree. I've written like 2 short stories and
Wow.
1 attempted screenplay that I it's hard for me because you write best what you know best, and it's I go back to some of the rough upbringing, childhood and stuff, and when you're going that personal.
Texas?
Yeah. When you're going.
What happened?
Just dysfunctional family stuff. I'm the youngest of 10. We were raised on a farm.
10?
Yeah.
And you were the youngest.
Yeah. But there was dark stuff. I don't need to really get into it, but I tap into it into the screenplay. So I go back and forth between you two. When I write about the good stuff, it just comes out of me. I don't even try. The bad stuff, it comes out, but the storm starts hitting inside, and suddenly you just want to stop the pain and stuff, and it's the damnedest thing.
No, you gotta just let yourself just cry.
Well, yeah.
Just keep writing and just like scream if you have to. Just do it.
Yeah, no,
Because
I hear you.
it's like the fun stuff is good, but
No, I know what you're saying.
yeah, I
You're
bet
correct.
you got some good stuff in there.
What I do is I've been channeling it a lot more in the acting stuff. For some reason now, I can just open up and show anything that needs to be shown when I'm acting because it's happening physically. When I'm writing, I guess you're right. If I started like going through the crying stuff and doing the physical manifestations of it while I'm doing it, it might even be more enjoyable. Might even be
Catharsis.
cathartic.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same word.
It's like you get it frees you. It's like taking off all your clothes.
Do you go to dark places when you write?
Not so much, no.
Yeah.
No.
What do you write
avoided
about?
Well, currently I'm working on a children's screenplay, so they're not too dark.
I'll get you, my little pretty.
But it has a message, an environmental message, and it's based on fact, but it's a fictional narrative, and it's very exciting for me. It's an action adventure comedy, and with kids as the main characters. But they do have a grandpa.
Ooh,
I think
you're
I
not
may
so dumb.
cast myself
You're not so
in that.
dumb.
I don't know.
What's the name of it? Do you have a name?
The Pollution Machine.
The pollution machine.
Yeah, and so I'm.
Is that the grandpa?
No, no.
There's some
The
pedophile or
pollution
something.
machine.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
She's got some money.
I'm sorry.
Do you have a
I'm
website
picking
or
on it.
Yeah.
how do people get in touch with you if they want to? Talk about that.
Well, I can be found on Facebook under Steve Howard.
Okay.
Will
Just
you
Steve
friend
Howard.
Me? Will you
instead of
friend me
Steve.
after I?
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Oh,
You're-
okay,
You're a
good.
breath of fresh air. I'm
You
going to
gotta
friend
be,
you too.
a lot of
Good,
fun
good.
to be
Oh,
friends with.
Facebook.
This is interesting for me because, you know, Steve and I are starring in a show together right now. We've been doing it for like 11 months, and you think you get to know somebody, you know, because you're around each other, but I'm learning all this new stuff in this about your writing and just watching you as you talk about it. It's all these new different levels. This is A-okay.
He's such a good. He's so in control. It seems like. You're
Oh,
so,
does it seem like that?
Yeah, you
Over
seem like
control?
you're so together. Like you like went away from acting and you supported your family and you worked at another job and you like did all this.
Well, I left out the
normal
part where my
stuff.
life completely fell apart, and I had two families. I had the wife and the kids, and I had the girlfriend and the kids in that house and this house, and I drank myself
Did
silly.
you have
and-
like two different
Keep
like
going. This is
two
great.
different?
Well, they knew about each other, but I lived in, it was complicated.
You had a girlfriend and a wife in two different houses,
Yeah.
and you went back and
Boy,
forth.
I'm really sharing stuff here, aren't I? Well, I didn't go back and forth quite like that. No. I mean, I lived with the girlfriend, and then I still had the house. I was trying to be a good person and take care of my family, and I was in this job where I made enough money to do that, and then of course it made me nuts. It made me totally nuts. And I lost everything, basically, all that stuff, which I needed to restart. So it was
So how old are
it's-
your kids? Do you have any kids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have kids.
Yeah. I got old kids. I have a son who's in the business actually very successfully. He's a coordinator for the TV show Neighbors. He's construction coordinator. His name is Stephen Howard, Jr.
Good.
And a very talented guy. And a daughter who's a painter, and very talented and successful, fine artist. And another daughter, my oldest, who's
Wow, 3 kids.
in her late 40s, and she lives in Chicago, and she has 2 kids and a husband and so forth.
So you did
Intentional.
good. You did good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You
they
did
did
good.
good by me. I have a really
Well,
pretty
that's
cool
lucky because
family.
kids, you raise your kids and you, oh God, what did you do? God plays a trick on you.
Well,
all
they
these
get angry
hormones.
at you.
You get hormones and you want to make a baby. I'm gonna fall in love with you. We're gonna have this child together, and it'll be you and me forever. And God plays a trick because that kid comes out. He's from another planet.
Oops.
He's from another planet. It's like
They're demanding.
demanding.
They require a lot.
Oh, your life. I mean, they've got you for 10 years because they can't even get dressed.
Yeah.
This is really nice. The dots are starting to connect. Again, as I said, he and I are starting in a hit show together.
The Rainmaker.
For how
The
many
Rainmaker.
months? The 9 months?
We're into our 11th month.
11th month.
And
At what theater?
at the Edgemar Center for the Arts in Santa Monica, California, and it's
Edgemar Arts. What street is that on?
Maine.
Yeah,
Main Street.
Main Street. It's between
Main
Pico
Street,
Boulevard and
Pico
Ocean
and
Ocean Park.
Okay. Well, I live in Topanga Canyon because I can just drive up there and then go to Main Street
Yeah,
and then
it's
take
an
a
easy-
right.
You're
and
right.
then go
It's on
down.
Facebook too, the theater.
Okay. I want to get all the numbers and everything. I want to get.
I'll give you all the information you need and the web
Okay.
links.
We really would love to have
Okay,
you.
good.
But the thing that I was saying was watching you play. He plays the patriarch in this,
Right.
and he plays it with such a heart and so even keeled and so, still a little bit of a dreamer and stuff in this. It's really interesting now because dots connect. Your life experience that gets you how you play a certain character and what you do when you just sit there and you're just unguarded in what your eyes convey and stuff. It's This has been really nice. It's been educational to know this stuff about you,
Nice to
Steve.
get to know you.
Yeah.
No, where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Santa Monica, California.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't
He's
know that.
Santa Monica, California. You're a California boy.
Yeah,
That's why
I
we're
grew
doing
up
the
here.
You're a surfer dude.
Yeah, actually, yes. Yes.
I knew that. I knew that.
Still.
Really? You
Yes,
still surf?
yes.
Did you know that?
He surfs with Tana, who plays our Lizzie in Rainmaker.
She surfs?
Oh, she's like a competitive surfer.
Oh my
She's
God,
hardcore.
I love her. I just love that girl. She
Oh, yeah.
is wonderful.
She's a force of nature.
She is Tana Fredericks. She's gonna just rule Hollywood. She is.
There's honestly, there's a very,
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for Tanya. Tana.
there's a
Tana,
special
I
thing
heard.
that happens with her in life, but on stage, it's very unique. That he talked about earlier, and
Oh, those moments.
you know, she was my dog for a while, and then she became my daughter in this play, and in both cases, it wasn't work. You know, my affection for her is genuine, and it's an amazing experience to be able to do that. You know, not to have to make that up,
Right.
and to fill it up. You know, and she brings some very genuine thing to that experience on stage when you work with her.
She's a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, the entire
She's a
cast.
hurricane.
The entire cast is galvanized when you have the writing the way it is, which is I consider it's a perfectly written play. You get a lot of the actors in there from the Actors Studio that our director Jack Heller brought in. So you got people who are really invested in telling the truth.
He does a great Tennessee Williams.
I
Yeah.
was in a show with him about Tennessee Williams. I played his
Oh.
lover in that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was
Yeah, he
called-
loves Tennessee Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. You do know he played Tennessee Williams,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, so I said he does a great Tennessee. I met Tennessee Williams when I did The Fugitive Kind. It's
Oh.
called Office Descending.
Diane Ladd is
and,
his.
were you Val?
his
Yeah, I played Val.
You were snakeskin?
Oh my God.
I did. I had a snakeskin jacket. And then,
snakeskin
I also met
jacket.
him when I did Sweet Bird of Youth in New York. I played Chance, and the Real Princess. He came with the Real Princess. That,
Really?
you know that character is based on.
Oh, you mean the
Right there on
real-
LaGuardia Place.
Do you remember her name?
I don't remember. It was
I thought you were always talking about Geraldine
1960s.
Page.
No, no, no.
You're talking
I
about
said the real princess.
The real one.
When Tennessee
R-E-A-L.
brought her.
Boy, if you did Val today with real snakeskin, all the vegans that rule
Yeah.
this town, boy,
Oh,
he would
they'd
be
be throwing eggs at you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Today.
Oh.
Yeah.
snakeskin.
But I didn't know how to play the guitar,
Right.
and so I just played like drums with it. Played the, you know.
That works.
Yeah.
I bet you were a
And I
great
just
Val.
walked around.
You got some piss and vinegar in you. I
Oh, a
see.
lot
you
of
got
that.
some
And,
fire.
this was in 1967 when I did that. I was in my ute.
You're still youthful.
So let's, you know.
Do you want to sit down here and like?
No, I'm good, baby.
Thank
I like looking at you. This show's about you guys, not me.
He's nice, isn't
See
he?
that adoration.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Well, she is. If you look, you know, some of the people that you grew up admiring as actors, she worked with. You know, like Steve McQueen and all the rest, people like that. If you have any questions
Luther
for
Adler,
her,
with Luther Adler, Stella Adler's brother.
Well, you can't put
Yeah,
out that
no.
temptation without
Yeah.
elaborating. What projects did you do?
Oh, you know, television, Gunsmokes, Wagon Trains, in New York, U.S. Steel Hour, just Naked City.
Wow.
I mean, 1959, I was in Cuba doing a movie with Elaine Stritch and Steve Hill. And
Elaine
Gene
Stritch.
Lyons. Stritchy.
Stretchy!
Stretchy!
Did you see that big special she did
No, I
a few years
didn't.
ago? She tells her whole life story in a one-woman show on
You're
stage.
kidding.
Still dancing. Those long,
Yeah, the long
legs.
legs.
They're like pipes.
yeah.
You know?
But finish that story about.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're going to blow their minds in a minute
What?
about Cuba.
Oh, well, I read for this role, and I went to Cuba and I worked with them, and I was playing this mentally retarded girl, and we were staying at the Hilton Hotel, and Fidel Castro was on the 15th floor, and we were on the 18th floor. And one day, one day I can't remember what day of shooting it was. Steve Hill had to smack me, and he hit me so hard that he knocked me out.
Whoa.
And method actor.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
serious.
so
Oh, boy.
he didn't really mean to. It was like at the last minute, the cinematographer said it'd be better if you did the stage slap from the other side, and I didn't really know about. I didn't hear that. And I didn't.
You didn't know it was
He
coming,
told
in other
him. He didn't tell me. You know. So I didn't know. And so anyway, so I went back and I went to bed and I came downstairs because we were all going to a party. Well, this gal who was our interpreter, this Cuban girl, said, "Who cares? You know that guy slapped you. He's mean anyway. You don't want to go with him. Come with me. We'll go up. We'll go up and I'll take you to a party." So we go upstairs and I meet Fidel Castro and
Wow.
I fall in love. You know, Che, like. I get together with Che, we go off on a motorcycle, and then
Are you
we're
being
like,
serious?
yeah.
Che
Yeah.
Guevara?
Serious.
Yeah.
And
You went
He
on
was
a
my
motorcycle
first-
ride?
I was my first man.
That
He was
was
my first man.
oh, what a circus, what a show. Argentina has come to town. I'm doing Che Guevara.
I know.
What?
Don't
That was her
stop.
first lover.
Don't stop.
Your first lover? You took your virginity, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa, now there's a book.
Well, not really, because I was in Sioux City, Iowa. I was sitting on a guy's lap, and he was like, we were like necking and fooling around, and he kind of like stuck his finger in there, and I get hurt like hell. But he didn't know, and
No,
I
don't-
didn't
don't
know
be
what it
bashful.
was.
Don't hold back.
I kind of
It's in the book.
there, really.
It's in the book.
So, you know, it's like, but it wasn't.
I
You
think
know,
we'll give
it's
it to
like he
Che.
didn't know, and he didn't, so I give it to Che. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
he was like the first one who really did it, you know.
Wow.
And then we got back on the motorcycle.
That's
and
a
then,
different motorcycle
and then-
diary than I'm
and
used
then,
to.
And then there was a bombing in the hotel. So he just ran off, you know. And I'd see him back and forth, you know. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time.
He taught her how to
Taught me
shoot a
do
machine
machine
gun.
gun and, you know, it's like, I got a good time in there. And then,
What a story.
We're actually sitting here with probably the inspiration of High Flying Authority. Oh my God, lady.
You
I
probably are.
You and wow.
and then,
Seriously,
there was
wow.
Bruce Lee in my life and Steve McQueen. I just fucked
So-
everybody.
So he threw
Alright.
away.
I
So
mean,
he-
I don't know. I just went from man to man to man, and I'd get a job and it saved my ass, you know. Thank God for being an actress because it would just take me out of whatever kind of crap I was involved with. And
So let me guess. Steve McQueen threw Ally McGraw aside for you.
no, this was before Ali.
Oh,
this was
before Robert Evans and Ally
And
McGraw.
actually,
Yeah, this is
Steve
before
was
that.
very good to her. Was a good friend, and
To her.
yeah, they were very.
Yeah, I
good.
did that Reavers with Steve
He
McQueen.
took the picture on the front of it.
Yeah, he took this picture.
I'll be
They were
darned.
see those photographs. They were really taking a picture of him, taking a picture of me. They weren't really looking
Look
at
how
me.
lovely. You know who you look like at a first glance? You look like Diane Cannon in this.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
I've been told that. I've been told that, and Farrah Fawcett. You know,
Farrah Fawcett.
anything
You're
that
all
they didn't,
unique
anything
person.
that they didn't get, they would give to me. You know, if they were working on something else, I would get those parts. You
My gosh.
know.
There's so
Small
much-
world, isn't it?
There's so much
So-
history sitting on this
That's
couch.
why.
I
So
feel
that's
unworthy.
it. If some of you,
No,
the people
are
that you
kidding?
might
Are you
admire,
kidding? We've all
you
got,
probably ask
you know.
her if you who the
Did
the
you
actors
know
or
Elia
actors.
Kazan?
No, I never did.
I'm reading his
I never
autobiography
did.
right now.
Actually, I'm up for a friend of mine just wrote a play, and he wants me to play Eli, and he's gonna. He's a black guy. That Eli.
Well, there's a story there. I mean,
You know, it's a good play. Eli was a great guy.
yeah.
I don't
but,
think he was a very good actor, though.
He
Who's
wasn't
Eli?
an actor.
Who's Eli?
He wasn't a good actor.
Elia Kazan.
Oh,
Eli Kazan was a director.
But
No, I'm thinking. You know, I'm thinking
really
You're
about
thinking Eli
Lee
Wallace.
Strasberg. I'm thinking of Lee Strasberg.
Oh, Lee Strasberg was no. Eli, he was a good director.
Kazan didn't start out as an actor in the
Yeah, he
studio.
did.
Well,
He
yeah,
did
but that
start
was
out
the
as
group
an actor.
theater. But it when directing was his
It's wild.
forte.
Boy, the things he got out of young actors, the Brandos and the Deans
Yeah.
and the whole.
This was all actor studio.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
claims it's all accidental.
Yeah, right. That's what this show is about. Is like that. That's what I mean. The things that come out are accidental, and that's what acting is. It's those moments that you don't realize that are coming out. They just where'd that come from?
He just reminded me of a quote from his book, Elia Kazan's book. He said, "Whenever I shoot a movie, I'm looking for one thing. I'm looking for the shiver and shine of life. I'm looking for that accidental hit of pure reality."
Right.
And he listed it. He goes, an example is probably one of my favorite things. There's nothing more devastating than watching a female face on a camera and a true tear just happens to trickle down. He goes, that seems random, he goes, but when Eva Marie Saint was doing that with Brando in
Waterfront.
he said, there was a moment, he goes, that's when he goes, I got electrified, and I said, this is what I was born to do. The shiver and shine of life.
Yeah.
That just
Thank God she's still alive. What a gift she is. Eva Marie Saint.
She's still alive?
Oh yes,
I didn't
she's
know
I
very.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, she's
because
still with her husband, and yeah, I see her at the studio. She comes every once in a while.
Oh.
But yeah, what a brilliant actress! And when she did *A Hat Full of Rain* with Anthony Francioso.
Was she the original?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Well, that was all came out of Actors Studio. That Mike Gazzo.
Why did I think Shelley Winters played that role?
She might have done. Shelley Winters did play the role on Broadway,
Okay.
and off Broadway, but in the movie, it was. And it was all Actors Studio people eventually. It's like a lot of people don't know Ben Gazzara originated the role of Sweetbird of Youth on Broadway. You didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that.
Everybody thinks it was Paul Newman. No, it was Ben
Yeah.
Gazzara.
He also, didn't he originate Brick in Cat on Hudson River?
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I mean. Yeah, Brick.
With,
Brick.
who was that woman? Barbara Bel Geddes,
Barbara
right?
Bell. Yeah.
How do I remember all this?
How do you remember all
I don't know,
that?
Trivia.
it just pops up.
My folks were
Well,
obsessed with anything entertainment, so I just absorbed as a child. And so Henry Jaglom, who is our executive producer of the Rainmaker that we're doing, the big filmmaker, he is obsessed with old Hollywood. He'll just go and I go, oh yeah, blah blah, yeah, blah blah blah. One night he and I riffed till like 4 a.m. We just knew each other's references. It's the damnedest thing. I don't know why.
But it's wonderful. I mean that you have that because
Yeah, that connection,
like
that
Henry,
click, that-
Henry is so all his films. I remember the
Oh,
one I
they're
saw
so
with
special.
Andrea
So
McAveen.
special.
She's a singer now, and it was about
Someone to Love? Orson
Someone to
Welles?
Love.
Orson Welles?
It was so beautiful that movie. And I met her one day in the airport. She was over here, and I looked and she was dressed like a stewardess in uniform. So I thought it was a stewardess, and I told her, I said, did anybody ever tell you look like Andrea? She said, yeah, because she said, oh yeah, she said, because I am. And we've been friends ever since. She does a lot of singing now, but all the women and then he did Eating. I think it was Eating.
Yeah, eating
Yes.
is
Oh, his
shopping.
movies, everything he does is so brilliant and so real. It's like watching a documentary.
Time is caught up.
And it is, in a
finally.
sense.
He's ahead of his time, and
Well, he's
now
not ahead of his
everybody's
time.
ready for him.
One of his early movies was Always But Not Forever, about divorce, and it was basically he played himself, and the woman who left him played herself. And I've recently gone through just a devastating divorce, and when we started rehearsals, I had Big Blue and stuff. But Henry told me, he goes, "You need to watch Always," and I kept putting it off because I didn't want to go, stir up all that crap again.
Yeah.
But I watched it one night, and Henry Jaglom stars in this thing too. This guy starts out, that camera pans down on him, and he's just this semi-broken man with this offbeat sense of humor, and he's just talking truth to us as an audience. He's talking right to the camera.
Right.
And I was electrified. So I watched this whole thing through, and I go through the whole tumult of emotions, and this thing ends up to be a Valentine for all of us to cut each other a little bit of slack. You divorce someone and you go, that son of a bitch or that bitch, blah, blah, blah. But we're all basically just human beings trying to do our best.
Right.
And I don't believe we're really malicious by choice. It's, you see something come up and you go, and you get mad in the moment, but we're basically just human beings. We're kids. But Henry's movie, Always But Not Forever, that one affected me more than any of his other films. Partly because I went through it, but partly because he gives a gift of love. He gives a little monologue to all of us right in the camera, right at the end of the movie, about cutting each other slack. I'm just going to sum it up. But you've got to hear him do this. Anyway,
I want to see that one.
he's a powerful,
I wanna
powerful
see that.
filmmaker.
It really is, yeah.
His movies are very special.
And when you say we're not basically that way, what we do, a lot of it's in retaliation. It's a protection that we attack.
Well, you get a lawyer. Lawyer gets involved.
Well, no.
and
I'm talking
it's
about
nuts.
when we cause harm
Oh,
to
I
each
thought you
other.
were like-
When you say things that aren't nice, it's almost like a defensive motive to take the pain away.
And you don't know what to say.
It's like Shelley Winter said with Mammoth. His language is so bad. Sometimes there are no words for the feelings. When we use profanity, because there are no words for certain feelings that you have, and you come out with profanity or violence or whatever it is. And I just want to. We're going to end on this wonderful note. 'Cause we're running out. No, really, I was. Really, what a pleasure to have you guys on.
Okay, so I'm going to come see the play.
Are you going to come
this,
too?
I would love to
this
come.
weekend, and it is where again? Just say it again.
Edgemar Center for the Arts on Santa Monica. It's in Santa Monica on Main Street, and it's Friday night, Saturday nights at 7:30, Sundays at 5 p.m. We will get you in for free, and any friends you want to bring, you'll all be comped.
Ooh.
Just 'cause